Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I am happy.
Happy?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because the sun is shining.
The sun's not shining, Tim. It's almost 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. and the sun is shining in my heart. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And everything's great. Everybody, last week I was a little down.
Yeah.
Some people were very nice.
They send you e-cards?
They sent me, I got a lot of e-cards, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, a lot of them were animated.
Wow.
Yeah, and everybody's like, hey, don't be
That's
down.
a lot of work. Hand-drawn animation?
Yeah, people, what they did was, I assume they listened to the episode last week. They're like, Tim's
I gotta do something.
Yeah, and then it was all sorts of different cards that I assume people did the old-fashioned way with animation cells.
Yeah.
They would paint on like that clear
Plastic. Film.
Then they take one picture, and then they'd change it a little bit, take another picture. And most of them were of Bugs Bunny, so that was good.
Oh, wow.
They know I love
one
Bugs
of your
Bunny.
favorites.
Yeah, and it said, cheer up, Doc.
Yeah. All of them said that?
Yeah, it was weird. I assume somebody organized it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of drawings to do. 24 for just a second.
Yeah, and most of them were 8-9 minutes long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even Bugs Bunny cartoons aren't usually that long.
No.
It must have been quite a thrill for you.
And when you think about it, cheer up, Doc.
Uh-huh.
First of all, it's a play on What's Up, Doc?
Yeah.
And I was sad, so cheer up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a medical doctor, so Doc was appropriate.
Right, yeah. But you don't like when people just call you Doc. You find that a little too informal.
It depends. When I'm performing surgery.
Right. You don't like the patient to call you Doc.
No, Dr. Tim or Mr. Tim.
Then you'll
yeah, I have a name. It's Tim.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, people.
Oh, so that's it. You just don't want to be limited by just your job title.
No, look.
You're a lot more than your job.
Look, I'm performing brain surgery here. Let's have a little respect.
Yeah.
Mr. Tim, Dr. Tim.
But that's not all you are.
What do you mean?
You're not just a brain surgeon.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
With feelings and emotions and wants and needs and dreams.
Uh-huh.
How are you this week, Tom?
I'm good, Tim. Well, speaking of doctors, I gave blood this week.
That doesn't make you a doctor.
I didn't say it made me a doctor. Speaking of doctors, I just got my PhD.
That's an insult to me and the rest of the medical doctors.
Yeah. Well, I got news for you, Tim. I don't think a doctor even took my blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it some nurse?
Yeah, it was some nurse.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
Right. Well, I had to make sure they weren't a vampire first.
Right. Licking their lips.
Yeah, so I bring a little holy water, and then I pretend like I'm sneezing, and I sneeze it at them.
That's probably, if you were going to do the vampire test on somebody, it's probably just easier to be like, holy water, and yell that. Instead, I'd rather get splashed with holy water
than sneezed on. Right.
So, because they're going to get mad either way.
Yeah, but, one's going to burn and one's not.
Well, it's always going to burn. It's all holy water, Tom. You and I know this.
What? My sneezes?
No. Your fake sneeze with the holy water is holy water.
Right.
And then you throw in holy water and yelling, holy water!
Uh-huh.
Is also holy water.
Yes.
So they'll both burn.
Yeah,
but if they're not...
But it's a lot harder to walk back. Why'd you throw holy water at me? Then why'd you sneeze on me?
Why would you bring holy water when you should just shoot them with a silver bullet and see if that kills them?
That's werewolves, Tim. God,
I'll never understand that.
You never pay attention during my lessons. A stake through the heart is for vampires. Silver bullets for werewolves.
The thing about the stake through the heart, though, I guess you can't do that because that would kill a regular person.
Kill just about anybody.
Yeah. A cross. Why don't you just wear a cross?
That's an old wives' tale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tim.
You know so much about vampires, Tom.
I do know a lot about vampires.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Tom, I don't tell you this enough. I'm very impressed with your vampire knowledge.
Oh, well, thank you, Tim. I mean, it's nice to hear it once in a while.
Yeah.
I do a lot of hard work. Yeah, so it's either that, the old fake holy water sneeze, or drag them into sunlight.
Right. And who has time for that?
Who has time for that? And maybe the person's bigger than you. It's going to be like a real struggle. And again, another thing that's hard to walk back. Unless it's like early in the morning, then you can be like, I want you to see the sunrise. It's beautiful.
It's romantic, but then it's like the nurse is like, hey, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a professional decorum here.
Yeah.
Now let's see that blood. So yeah, I gave some blood. And, it was a lot of fun. Blood sure is warm, huh?
I guess. When did you touch the blood?
Oh, whenever they weren't looking. Whenever they weren't looking, I was poking the bag of blood.
You know what? I used to give blood no problem. Skeeves me out now.
Why?
Watching stuff flow out of you.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's I had a bad experience giving blood.
Okay.
Some lady, the nurse.
Some lady.
The nurse was in the midst of like a very bad divorce.
Was this in a courtroom?
No, it was in a truck. The other thing is I hate going into these blood-giving trucks.
Oh, I didn't go into a truck.
Because like you have the hum and the exhaust, like the right the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I kind of like that. I like some background
noise. There's no
noise.
place for like a kind of like medical, like a sterile. I never trust a motor vehicle to be as sterile as I want. So I'm always afraid that there's gonna be a dirty needle or like.
Yeah, but then you might get powers.
Yeah, this woman was the nurse. I'm sorry. She was talking to other people.
Yeah.
About this divorce and how she was losing property in the divorce and how this was a bad situation. And it sounded like a bad situation for her. She had to go to court. She needed a lawyer, whatever. But then she like put the needle in my arm in such a way that like my arm immediately all turned purple.
Okay.
Like right away.
Yeah.
And I was like...
the blood bag filled and popped.
Like, excuse me, miss. And it hurt like the dickens.
Okay.
So I naturally assumed something was wrong because I've given blood before. And you feel a pinch and like nobody likes feeling that...
yeah, but it's not like painful. It's like maybe a little discomfort.
Yeah. Well, also when it's done right too.
Yeah.
Because it's like a long knee. It's like a couple inches, right? And just the fact that that's hanging out inside your vein.
Yeah.
I think a few people just passed out listening to this.
Yeah, probably.
But so it immeditely turned purple, hurt like the dickens, and I'm just like, excuse me, miss, nurse, I didn't even know her name.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you're fine. Oh, and like kind of like that. You know the way that all medical professionals don't believe anything you say ever?
Well, I've never...
You ever go to the doctor and you're like, hey, I'm having this symptom, and they're like, that's nothing. Don't worry about that.
I think that might be particular to you, Tim. How often do you go to the doctor?
Once a year.
Oh, okay. I thought
up.
maybe it was like every week with a new, like, oh, God, doc, I got a big long list.
No, I'm the perfect patient because they're like, what's up?
Because you're a brain surgeon.
Yeah, exactly. I know what they're looking for.
You know what they're looking for?
Yeah, exactly.
What are they looking for?
The symptoms.
Oh, okay.
They ask, doctor, do you have any symptoms? And I say, here are the symptoms. And they're like, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not fine. I'm a doctor.
I know that I'm dying.
No. But you don't have that at the doctor where like...
no, they always take me seriously.
I feel like a doctor takes you seriously, but also is like... always like, I got to get out of here. Like,
well, are you always just trying to score drugs?
Why are doctors always this busy?
Because everybody's getting sick. Everybody's dying.
Everybody's dying, but like we're all dying a slow death here.
Well, everybody's busy because we have a horrible healthcare system. If you want to get into it, Tim.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
You got more to say?
That's it.
It's
just a lot of stacked up.
So anyway, I think it took like 3.5 hours
to get
the blood out because I don't think they hit a vein.
They were just pulling blood out of your body.
Yeah, like blood goes through your muscles at some point, right?
Yeah.
So, but like a little, right? Like
yeah, that's like some slow brewed blood.
Yeah, and like maybe that's what it got going.
Yeah, maybe we really need some A quality blood.
But then for like 3 days, I couldn't move my arm.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, that soured me on the whole giving blood thing.
This was surprisingly super. It like the leading up to it took forever, but actually giving the blood, like I filled that bag in no time.
Wow, you're so good at everything, Tom.
Yeah, no, and I don't like the label hero, but sometimes it's appropriate.
What made you give blood?
I forget. I think I was like reading a book and somebody gave blood, and I was like, oh, I should give blood. I always mean to.
That's a nice thing to do because everybody should be doing that. How often can you do it? Every 3 months?
No, it's like 4 or 6.
Okay, but everybody should there's no reason why we don't all just like have that in if you're able to give blood, if you're healthy and
or if you're like me, you got a lot of extra blood.
Yeah, you're always just bursting with blood.
Yeah,
Tom.
I mean, otherwise I'm just dumping this extra blood down the toilet. So Tim, this week we're talking about the possible alien superstructure.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised you wanted to talk about this, and you hate astronauts. I thought that would kind of
First of all, Tom,
color your opinion.
This has nothing to do with astronauts. It's got a little. It's tangentially.
It's in space.
It's in space, but that
just
doesn't...
like astronauts.
Yeah, all right. Does Venus have anything to do with astronauts? No, not unless astronauts go to Venus.
Yeah, it does have something to do with astronauts. It's also in space.
So are we, Tom. We're floating in space,
but I
baby.
mean, not really. We're not floating in space either.
What do you think Earth is?
It's spinning in space. It's not floating. There's no idea of floating. There's no gravity.
My God, Tom. If we're gonna mince words here.
Yeah.
You're gonna parse everything I say just because it's not scientifically
I'm just
accurate.
saying you hate astronauts based on the idea that you think space is boring.
No,
so I was surprised.
You're misrepresenting me already, and I don't like this, Tom.
Then here's your forum. Clarify your feelings.
Don't hate astronauts.
Uh-huh.
I just think going to the moon is boring because nothing happens on the moon. It's just a big rock. We got rocks here. You want to climb a mountain? That's more exciting than going to a moon because going to the moon, our moon.
Yeah.
Because to get to the moon, you know what an astronaut has to do?
What?
Sit in a chair.
No, that's not all they have to do, Tim. Tim, look.
Everybody in Houston, there's a big thing, a big room full of hundreds of people. They're doing everything, and the astronaut sits in a chair, and then it's like, all right, astronaut, get out. And he's like, okay. And
okay.
And he goes out, and he jumps around on this big rock for a minute, and they're like, all right, go back. And they're like, what a hero. Look, I think astronauts are heroes. I just think going to the moon is a boring endeavor, and we should never go back.
Well, we haven't been there in like 35 years.
That's great.
Or 40 years.
Great.
Longer.
Good. Let's never go back.
Well, Tim, within our lifetimes, we haven't.
Yeah, but we've been hearing about all these people that went to the moon.
Well,
they played golf on the moon. They put a
well, but you're hearing about it now because we want to go to Mars, and we're like, we should make sure we can still go to the moon before we go to Mars.
What do you mean still go to the moon? That the rockets still work? I think rockets still work.
Yeah, but we got all new rockets.
So we got worse rockets now? Why don't we just build the old rockets?
Because I think in retrospect, those old rockets were super dangerous. And we're like, oh, we got safer ways, but it's going to take a while.
Okay, I'm for going to the moon if it's a test run for going to Mars.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But let's just go to Mars already, everybody.
Well, we can go to Mars. It's just getting back from Mars. That's the tough part.
Don't come back.
Well, I think that's basically where we're at right now, that we can probably send people there, but it's going to be a one-way trip.
Yeah, and you know how many weirdos signed up for that? Like 1 million.
Yeah, so send all the weirdos.
Guys, yeah.
Send in the weirdos. But that's how
Send out the weirdos from Earth.
Yeah.
If all these weirds, you get like John Mark Carr is like, all right, I'll go to Mars. Great. John Mark Carr.
I don't know if he said one way or another if he's willing to go to Mars.
Yeah, let's Let's make that decision for him.
But we're not talking about Mars this week. We're
Do you
talking.
think Jared from Subway, when they sentenced him, they were like,
they offered him the option?
well, do you think he would have taken it?
No.
What
he's
if
not
what if
even
going? What if the Mars mission was like a Suicide Squad situation?
Yeah.
Where it's like we take all the worst people
Mm-hmm.
and send them to Mars. So we'll get like Jared. We'll get Papa John.
Papa John has not been convicted of anything.
Yeah, but he's about to.
He's not about to.
Look at Papa John.
All right.
Tell me he's not guilty of 100 different crimes.
Crimes against pizza,
He's
maybe.
so greasy. He's the greasiest man
Oh, the
ever.
pizza's very greasy.
How
What do you
is
expect?
a billionaire this greasy?
'Cause he's
Can't you buy a way to get that grease off you?
a degreaser.
Yeah, I know you're gonna say, oh, he's making the pizzas, and the pizzas are real greasy.
Yeah.
First of all, he's not making the pizzas.
No, Tim.
Second of all, I know tons of pizza men that are not greasy at all.
Don't know one pizza man. And also, I think you've got it flipped, Tim. The pizzas, it's not he's greasy because the pizzas are greasy. The pizzas are greasy because he's greasy. He insists on touching all the pizzas before they go out.
Well, that makes the pizzas a lot less appetizing.
Well, yeah. Now
He's
you
not
know.
touching the crazy bread, though, is he?
No, because the crazy bread's not that greasy.
No, it's so good, though.
Yeah, it is. They don't have crazy bread.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
know.
there isn't a thing called crazy bread.
Yeah, okay, the cheesy bread, whatever
Yeah.
they call it. It's crazy.
Crazy. All right. But anyway, it's not what we're.
There's so much cheese on that bread, Tom.
Yeah,
that
it's delicious.
Freaking crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all the crazy bread. Fingers crossed that it catches on.
We're not talking about anything related to any of that. We're talking about KIC 8462852, also known as AKA Tabby Star.
Tabby Star?
Yeah, like a cat.
Why is it like a cat?
No, the tabby, like a tabby cat.
Yeah, but why do they?
I don't know why it's called Tabby Star. But why don't you explain what you think it is?
Okay, here's what I heard, like third hand.
So not directly from an astronomer
No.
or an astrologer.
I hear a lot of things from astrologers.
Man,
so-
how pissed off must astronomers be that like that's so close? Because how many like cocktail parties do you think they've like introduced themselves? Like,
What do you do?
I'm an astronomer, and people.
I'm a Gemini. What's my
Either
what
that
should I
or-
expect?
Or people being like, because I imagine astronomers probably go to like really nice cocktail parties, and they get written off by people thinking they're astrologers and being like, "Who let the riffraff in?"
Yeah, Miss. He must know Miss Cleo. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Anyway, tell me what you think Tabby Star is.
Okay, so in a galaxy far, far away, we've been sending out signals, right? And this is what I heard, Tom. This is what I heard on the playground. One of the older boys told me that we like shoot signals out and like we see how they come back and stuff.
Yeah.
And like what kind of energy is associated with it or something. And we sent all these signals out real far, and there's been like a decrease in like energy from these signals that are coming back consistently over time. That makes it seem that something is happening, something is being built. It just doesn't add up. And what smart guys are saying, astrologers, I think, are saying that. Oh, you know what it probably is? An alien is building a structure.
Yeah.
What percentage of this is accurate?
Maybe like 70%.
That's not bad. That's a passing grade.
We're not sending signals that are coming back because this star is 1,480 light years away.
What does that mean? Like how many?
Very far.
How many inches?
More than you could even imagine.
Wow.
So we're just measuring light from the star, and what we're seeing is that the light keeps dipping as though something keeps going in front of it, just like a light bulb. You walk in front of a light bulb, that
It's
light
a star?
dims. Yeah, it's a star.
Okay.
But it keeps dimming in like a pretty consistent way, and in a way that we haven't seen before. they thought, and some people still think it might be like a comet array that's just caught in the gravitational pull. But other people go, you know what this could be? It's this thing called a Dyson sphere, which was an idea.
Vacuum.
Not a vacuum.
No, I got a Dyson sphere. Tom, it gets all the dog hair off my couch.
You don't have a dog. Why you have all that dog hair on your couch?
You don't have to worry about where that dog hair comes from.
So the idea of a Dyson sphere came up, presumably a guy named Dyson came up with it.
The vacuum cleaner guy.
Yeah.
Because he's a very smart guy, Tom.
He is. He came up with a great vacuum.
Yeah.
And those bladeless fans. And,
oh, yeah. Oh, no. I don't have one of those.
And coincidentally, and this makes me think, oh, maybe this is all just a big publicity stunt. They just came out with a bladeless hair dryer. So it uses that same bladeless.
Hair dryers have blades.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
How did you think they worked?
I don't know. I can't see inside. You can't see the blades.
Yeah, you can. Look in the back. Usually there's like a mesh over it. But it's
I haven't
sucking.
investigated the hair dryer.
I'm just saying, investigate the.
I don't use a hair dryer, Tom. I go out with wet hair, and I don't care.
Ew.
Wet hair, don't care.
I can't go out with wet hair in the summer. It just stays wet.
That's fine. Cools you down.
No.
Gets really hot.
Yeah.
It burns your scalp because the water on your hair starts boiling.
Yeah, it starts sizzling.
Yeah. You're just frying an egg on the top of your head.
So anyway, the idea of a Dyson sphere is that where what they think humans and like human-like civilizations, that we're gonna at some point be able to harness all the power that we can from our planet and from like the sun hitting our planet. And we're going to be like, great, we got all this power.
Like solar panels?
Yeah. And we'll tap into geothermal and ocean.
Oh wait, we're going to peak out.
Yeah, eventually
all the things that we can harness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually we're going to be like, look, we burned all the oil, we did all this, we did all that, and in the words of Tim the Toolman Taylor, we need more power. He'll be worshipped as a god hundreds of thousands of years in the future.
You know what a man told me once?
What?
I have a name like Tim the Toolman Taylor, but a beard like Al Borland.
I think you mentioned this last week. So anyway.
Really stayed with me.
At some point, we're going to be advanced enough that, and we're going to need more power enough that we're going to be like, let's cut out the middleman, and in this case, that's space. Let's go right to the source. And let's basically build this oversimplification, but let's put some solar panels around the sun.
Right, and then run a long cord.
A very long cord.
Yeah.
An extension cable down to Earth.
And then plug your computer into it.
Yeah, directly.
It'll have a lot of outlets on it.
Oh, it'll have to. Yeah,
it'll have like 100 outlets.
Yeah. And then even though you're not supposed to plug multiple things in, like,
oh, you're gonna put like other surge protectors
yeah,
we'll
put some more outlets. But
Tom,
uh-huh.
Should I be concerned about surge protectors versus power strips?
Well, most power strips have surge protectors built into them.
Yeah, but not the low rent crap that I'm buying at Dwayne Reed.
Well,
they're like $1.99.
Well, where are you plugging into them?
My television.
Mm.
When does it ever surge? I've never experienced
lightning.
A surge.
If lightning hits, you know what? I think it is the kind of thing where nowadays there isn't. It doesn't happen as much, especially like we're in New York City. Like we have a pretty advanced electrical system. Like there aren't the kinds of fluctuations that if you're in a farmhouse 50 years ago.
Right. Yeah, I'm never going to be in a farmhouse 50 years ago.
Well, you never know.
I spoke too soon. If I'm ever involved in some sort of quantum leap situation.
Yeah, you might be.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You'll wake up in a farmhouse and there'll be a surge protector plugged into the wall. Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah,
I'm sorry for bringing you off track. I recognize that was not super relevant.
So the idea is that us eventually, but any super advanced civilization is eventually going to try and harness all the power of the sun. And that they would do that by having a Dyson sphere, basically a sphere around the sun of, all like machines and stuff, just sucking up all the power. So people have taken that idea, astronomers and astrologers, and said, well, maybe that's why we're seeing this like consistent dip. The dip is every time one of those power sucking machines goes in between us, the telescope, and the star.
Right. So they're doing the dip.
In a way they are, Tim, the intergalactic dip.
When I put my hand upon your hip, when I dip, you dip, we dip.
Or
we
when
harness all the energy.
When I build a Dyson sphere around your star, the light dips, it dips. It dips. But
wise words.
I think what you're getting confused with is that we have since pointed our SETI satellites at this star to be like, let's see if we can get any radio stations.
Now, SETI is the thing that they're looking for transmissions.
Yeah, from alien life.
Mm-hmm. This isn't the thing. This isn't where we're sending things out, or is that a
I
component
believe
of
that is also a part of SETI, which is a very controversial.
Right? Hasn't Stephen Hawking?
Hawking's. I don't know if it's Hawking or Hawkins.
Sadie Hawkins.
Sadie Hawkins. Sadie Hawkins' husband.
Yeah. Mr. Hawkins. She proposed to him.
Yeah, crazy.
He's like, stop doing that. What are you, nuts? You're gonna give us away. They're gonna come destroy us, right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the proposal still.
No. Haven't.
What are you doing? Why are you proposing to me?
Oh, no.
Yeah, him and some other famous astrologers are all saying that, hey,
People
idiot.
get so mad when you do things like that. People sincerely write in.
Yeah.
I know, I don't want to break the thing, but we were talking about Heath Ledger, but we kept calling him Keith Ledger.
Yeah.
And we got like a few emails that were like, guys, don't worry about it. It's cool, but you got the name wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just so that you know, so you don't make idiots of yourselves. Yeah. Well, Tim, now you've broken the fourth wall, and now how do we get back?
I don't know.
How do we build that wall back up and make the wall pay for it?
The wall will pay for itself.
Yeah. So Stephen Hawkins is like, guys, why are we advertising we're here? Like, anyone that can read that signal and then come to us, we've got nothing to offer to other than like pure resources. They're not going to come and be like, oh, so what ideas do you guys have? Idiots that can't even get back to the moon?
Yeah.
Or idiots, or in your case, idiots that think the moon's so interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, these guys, it's not even, there's no power on the moon. It's just some freaking rock.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it makes the waves, the tides different. Great. Oh, real interesting, moon.
So he said, and I agree, that the bad things for the most part, probably nothing's going to happen. Nobody's ever going to hear this signal because space is just too big.
What do we send? It depends on what we're sending. If it's like Frank Sinatra, they're going to be like, yeah, we're not
fly me to the moon.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, the moon.
Geez, the moon again.
Guys,
they're obsessed. It's just a rock.
Jesus,
a
guys.
bunch of dust.
You can't harness anything from that.
Yeah. So yeah, he said.
So is that a part of SETI?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
That we're listening, but then after a while, we're like, ooh, it's taking forever. Right. Let's send out our own signals.
Right.
And again, so we've pointed the satellite at the star to see if we can hear any radio signals, and we haven't heard anything. But
imagine it was like really cool music.
It's like the best music anybody's ever heard. That'd be crazy.
Do you think there's like some NASA scientist that's got like a cassette tape of like
a mixtape, an alien mixtape,
just like the most like the baddest music you've ever heard?
Bad isn't good.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, these grooves, they're not of this world.
Yeah.
And
this stuff makes Skrillex sound like a Stone Age man.
Yeah, and the NASA man just winks at you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have no idea.
Wait till you hear this drop.
Yeah, and you're like, man, this song's out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you can
you
say
have
that
no
again.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the understatement of the century. So they, we point at the satellites to listen to the star. We don't hear anything, but people have said like, well, they could be presumably smarter than us and masking their radio signals, or B, like they don't use radio, like they're so, and of course, like other things put off radio waves.
Maybe they listen to podcasts, not the
exactly.
radio. Yeah. We should go to their websites and see, or we should go to Alien iTunes and see what's.
Yeah, or at the very least, point like a Bluetooth receiver and put it on pairing mode.
Yeah,
and see if we get a Bluetooth signal.
Yeah.
Tim, we should work for NASA.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing to me about all this is that this planet or this star is 1,480 light years away. So the light we're seeing is from 536, the year 536.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they could have
big
this
tape
whole
delay.
Structure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, presumably, like, there's no evidence that we think they're in the process of building it. It seems like they have. And we've been looking at this star, Tim, for over 100 years.
Well, hold on. The big thing of this, the really big shoe, is the fact that each time it dims more and more each time. So
like
it's
the
less and
energy's
less
getting sucked right out of the star.
Or that the structure is getting bigger between
right.
us and the star, right? Like it's not
that it's
necessarily
growing.
like one thing orbiting it.
Right.
It's like one thing that's growing each time it orbits it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
So it could be some kind of a alien life form.
Oh, and Alf?
An Alf. No, like Galactus.
You're gonna have to explain that.
That's just a comic book character, but he's huge and he eats planets.
He eats planets?
Yeah, he eats planets, Tim. He doesn't even care. He's hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't really know what the hell's going on.
Wait, we've been looking at it for 100 years?
Yeah, photographs.
Who's been looking at it?
Old-timey people, Tim.
Somebody in 1916 was like, oh, I know what's
Tim,
going on.
Somebody in 1890.
What?
Photographs from other telescopes dating back to 1890 show that the star also faded by roughly 20% over the much of the last century. So that's where we have the evidence that, like, not only is it dimming consistently, but that overall it's fading.
Right.
Because we've got, 126 years of evidence to look back on and be like, oh, that used to be a lot brighter.
But we're still looking 1,500 years in the past.
Yes, which is also crazy.
These guys are probably halfway here.
Yeah, and we wouldn't know. Well, if they were halfway here, then we'd know in, I guess, 750 years from now.
Well,
but that's what's the mind-blowing thing to me about this is, like, if this is real, to me, it's a crazy thing that I think nobody's really thought of. That because of course, everybody thinks about aliens all the time. Everyone.
Yeah, no, not just you. It's
Tim. I gotta turn you on to some YouTube channels, and you're not gonna believe. But anyway, we've always thought about, like, oh, we go and explore the stars and we find aliens, or aliens come to Earth. At least to my knowledge, not many people have thought about the idea, like, oh, we might find aliens, but they're 1,500 light years away. So we'll never get to them. They'll never get to us, and we'll never communicate. But maybe we'll just watch them?
That's what I like doing. Aliens do things. Like
build
chores,
superstructures.
Yeah.
But it would be crazy. Think about if we got, like, a powerful enough telescope. And it was just like, oh, yeah, now there's, like, a channel on TV. We can watch the aliens go about their business. But just, like...
But, like, from the past, from 1,500 years
From 1,500 years ago, and only from, like, one angle, like Google Maps.
Yeah. I'd still watch it. Do you think there's like two?
I'd still watch it too, but I think people get bored of it after a while. They'd be like, I don't understand this.
Do you think there's an alien on that planet that's talking to his alien friend? He's like, this superstructure, they're wasting their time.
Like,
this is so dumb. It's boring.
No, the sun's dimming. It's what kind of loser wants to go out into space and work on that superstructure? Yeah. I still imagine that there are aliens with like hammers, just like, yeah, we gotta get this superstructure built. The boss is really riding my ass.
They're wearing overalls.
Yeah, space overalls. I've got two other things related to this. I think we talked about this in IRL. I don't know if it was on one of these shows or not.
Tom, don't say in IRL. That's ridiculous. Start over.
I think we talked about this IRL.
Cool. Yeah. When?
But I don't remember when. Did you know that you can take a ham radio and talk to the International Space Station sometimes?
You did tell me this.
We should do that for the show.
Yeah. When can you do it?
A captive guest. Captive in space. A space captive.
I can tell them how boring their lives are.
Yeah, Tim. You can not only directly insult an astronaut to their face, but while they're in space.
Yeah. You're not so tough. Come and get me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'd be like, oh, you just wait.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now we gotta like wait for Russia to send up a shuttle to come get me.
Yeah.
That's the most terrifying thing about being in the space station, that you can't be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, all right, well, we can come get you in like 6 months.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Explain to me this.
So on the ISS, the International Space Station,
right?
From here on out, called Tim.
What?
You were really going above and beyond painting astronauts. That I just can't stand for that.
It's just my understanding. Prove me wrong, Tom. Prove to me that all astronauts aren't members of ISIS.
So people on the ISS, they have a ham radio up there.
Okay.
And it's not a radio made of ham sandwiches, Tim.
Tom, I know what a goddamn ham radio is.
I know what a goddamn ham sandwich is.
Yeah, that's. I know what a ham radio is because I know what a ham sandwich looks like, and it's not that.
Right, it's different.
I judge everything against
a ham sandwich.
The ham sandwich test is
just
what I call it.
Just a plain ham sandwich.
Ugh.
So when the ISS is overhead, which you can like check the schedule and check its flight paths and stuff.
Right.
There's a short window where it's close enough overhead that you can talk to it through a ham radio.
How often does this happen?
I think like pretty often, because like where it's in orbit,
like once a week.
Maybe not that often, and it's like a pretty short window, like maybe like 15 minutes, and you gotta hope that it's on. And there's some bored astronaut there that's like...
Oh, believe me, there will be a bored astronaut up there. Oh, no, I was just looking at my plants and seeing... I was measuring how much this one boring plant grew in the last 4 hours. Yeah. Thanks, astronaut.
It's a job, Tim. They're scientists. They're trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, measure those plants, you bores.
So if you have a ham radio, and you need a pretty strong one, Tim, you might not be able to just get one of these at Radio Shack.
Is there an app?
No, there's not an app, Tim. It's an actual... I mean, maybe there's like an app where you can rent a ham radio through the internet.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, there probably is an app now that I think about it.
Wait, where can we get a very powerful ham radio?
We'd have to build one.
What?
Yeah, probably.
You're kidding me.
What? A lot of ham radios, Tim, they come in kits. You can't just go down to your local store and buy a ham.
This is seeming less and less like something I want to do.
And especially nowadays, Tim, you can't go to a Best Buy and buy a ham radio. They don't have a ham radio section.
Well, let's go to a Radio Shack. Or I believe they're called The Shack now.
No, they didn't actually do that rebrand. But yeah, we can build a ham radio. We can talk to the astronauts.
What would you ask the astronaut if he was overhead right now?
I would ask, have you ever met somebody in your life that hates astronauts more?
I love astronauts, Tom. here's the thing.
I feel like you would bait one of these people like, hey, let me just ask, if the opportunity to go to the moon came up, would you take it? And if
they would say yes, because who wouldn't? What?
But if by chance some astronaut went, nah, it's boring. That person, you would get posters of them and put them up in your like. Now this is an astronaut.
Tom, if I spoke to any astronaut while he was in space, he or she, I'm sorry, I'd get a poster of that person. That person would be my hero.
You probably have to get it specially ordered nowadays.
Yeah, I'd special order a poster. Done it before.
I mean, you got to think about the cost adding up, Tim. You're building a ham radio.
I have a lot of posters that I self-made.
Really?
Yeah.
Name
one?
Yeah, name one.
Derek Jeter's parents.
Derek Jeter's parents. Why did you get a poster of Derek Jeter's parents?
Because I think they're an inspiring story. They raised that child. They supported him in the stands, and he makes the plays at shortstop, and they applaud. And did
they go to every game?
No. What are they, nuts?
All right.
There's 162 games a year.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Was in the major leagues for like 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, he went to every game.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm sure.
Imagine there were secretly 2 or 3 Derek Jeters.
What? Why would that be the case? Because there are just too many games for real Derek Jeter to go to?
Well, he was also like quite the womanizer.
Yeah.
So like he was probably
so he had to clone himself so he could continue to womanize?
No, maybe he had a secret twin or triplet.
If he was quite the womanizer, then he probably had a lady in every city.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the Twin Cities. Probably twins in the Twin Cities. So, yeah, you can talk to an astronaut on the ham radio. But the other thing I want to talk about...
Do you think your run-of-the-mill astronaut has an opinion on something like this space structure?
Oh, I bet it would get to the point where you'd have to be like, oh, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
They've got so many opinions. I'm sure. I mean, that's the thing. It's fascinating on, and I don't even know how we would or will definitively figure out if it is like.
Spoiler: we won't.
Well, I mean,
unless they like attack us.
Well, we pointed SETI, the satellites at it, and if we pointed it and we heard "Fly me to the alien moon," then we'd be like, "Oh shit, yeah, it's real. Yeah. Look, we can listen to alien radio stations now." Right. But
an alien Frank Sinatra. It'd be more interesting than the bore that we had here on Earth.
Old Clear Eyes.
Old Clear Eyes.
But yeah, we wouldn't. I don't know how they're gonna be able to definitively prove that it's not a Dyson superstructure or a Dyson
Take
sphere.
That, skeptics.
Yeah, take that, scientists.
Yeah, take that, astrologers.
But the other thing I was going to talk about, and which kind of relates to this, is this video game I've been playing.
Oh, brother.
Did I tell you about this game?
No
Man's Sky.
Yeah, you told me about it.
It's so much fun, Tim, because there's a whole universe inside this game.
There's a whole universe in the universe, man. It's just
but
like
I can't get to those.
I can play basketball on my TV. It's like,
what?
Yeah,
it's not a basketball game.
Yeah, but like just play basketball in real life.
I don't have a basketball.
I'll buy you a basketball.
Well, what's that? Are you
can borrow my basketball.
Are you going to buy me a college-sized ball or an NBA-sized ball?
Whatever you want.
Well, a college-sized ball I can palm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you dunk I
can dunk on a college-sized rim. That's a little bit lower, right? It's like an 8-foot rim. No, I should be able to dunk. I've got to really work on it.
Tom, if I said, I got, I'll take care of your salary.
Okay.
For the next 3 years.
All right.
You'll live fine.
Mm-hmm.
On September 1st.
Yeah.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
You have to dunk a basketball in one try.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, everyone you've ever loved.
You're going to kill everyone I've ever loved. So it's like a very weird. I don't think this normally happens where it's there's an ultimatum, but also like pretty supportive of like, we'll take care of you.
Yeah, and like I'll give you all the basketballs you need. I'll give you a court.
Right.
Where,
you want me to succeed.
I want you to say, Tom, you don't think I want to kill anybody, do you?
Right, yeah. But you're
don't
left
make
with no
me do
choice.
this. Yeah. Look, it's not me. I'm just following orders here.
What? Who's giving these orders?
Just don't worry about it, man.
Tim, did you tune
hard.
your ham radio into the Superstructure?
What would you do?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't consult that. You can't hire a coach.
Okay.
You have 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You got to dunk this basketball.
Right.
Tomorrow, you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you do?
Watch a basketball game.
Google, what is basketball?
How
many hours a day do you devote to this? Do you do like 20 hours a day?
No, I wouldn't do 20 hours a day.
How else
I would
are you gonna
sleep
learn how to dunk?
4 hours a night for the next 3
Yeah,
years.
but then if you miss that dunk, you'd never forgive yourself for not practicing your dunking more.
I wouldn't need that much time. Look at dunk contests. They rarely miss. I don't have to do like a tomahawk dunk.
Yeah, but you can't even dunk. You've never done. It's something you've never done in your life.
Not on a regulation rim.
Yeah, but it has to be a regulation rim.
And in fairness, I can touch rim.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So like I don't think.
Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You can't do a thing where you grab the rim and pull yourself up and dunk.
What if I grab the net? What if while I do it, I also shatter the glass, and it's really cool.
Well, if you shatter the glass,
I'd just be hanging on the rim, just yanking it. Come on, shatter.
All right, you could grab the net, but guess what?
What?
The net's on fire.
That's fine.
I'm lighting the net on fire.
I can wear gloves, though, right? I can
No gloves.
Well, I can wear oven mitts, though.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What I would do, Tim, I would just get in really good shape. I think that would be the key. I would lose weight, and I would like work on my legs a lot. And
yeah, but that would add mass, and then you wouldn't be able to jump as high.
No, I'd still stay sinewy, but I would really pump up my calves.
Would you just jump?
I'd also probably work on some spring shoes.
Nope.
You didn't say I can work on spring shoes.
Well, I'm making it up as I go along.
Well,
you can't wear spring shoes.
Oh, come on. This is unfair.
I didn't say you could use spring shoes.
You didn't say I couldn't, Tim.
If you use you could use Nickelodeon moon shoes.
I wouldn't use moon shoes, Tim. Those I don't think you can go very high at all.
Yeah, well, that's your only option. You can use.
What can I use? Rocket shoes.
Sure, but
I saw
you have to build them from scratch. You can't buy like a rocket.
No, that's
kit.
fine. I can't buy a rocket shoe kit.
Yeah, or a rocket kit.
No, that's fine. I
wouldn't
want to.
You have no access to the
Tim,
internet.
if I've only got one, I have no access to the internet.
Yeah.
I'll have to do all my research
That's
at
going to be
library.
the hardest part for you.
Yeah.
Just check your email.
Just slit their throats. Listen, Tim, I just want to say about this video game, No Man's Sky. Very controversial game. A lot of people are saying that they don't like it, but I like it. It's fun. You get to explore planets. So the game, it uses math. Maybe you've heard of it. And it's a...
Tom, what if I had never heard of math?
Well, then...
Wouldn't you feel pretty bad?
Well, then next week we would have to do the complete guide to math. Oh, sounds boring. We'll wait for back to school for that. Really stick it to kids. This game, it's got 18 quadrillion planets in it.
Quadrillion?
Yeah.
That's 1,000,000 times.
Who knows how much?
4?
Even more. No, that would be 4 million. But it's procedurally generated. They made an equation and an algorithm.
So they're all pretty much the same.
No.
I bet they are.
Well, you sound like one of these haters on the Reddit. But so every disk has the same equation. So every disk has the disk you buy the game on.
Oh, okay.
So every
disc?
Yeah, compact disc is procedurally generating all the same stuff, but that's how they could fit like 18 quadrillion planets on one disk. It
Cool.
doesn't say like, oh, this planet's named this and it's got these
I like that
aliens
anything
on
that
it.
would be explained is like explained in a nerd voice. Like they're not losers that like built this game and like made it work.
No, they were busy crushing beers and talking to chicks.
These guys sound really cool.
Yeah, and
I'd
they
love to
had,
play this game.
They had math do all the hard work for them. But it's a real, Tim, it's a real chill game.
Is it chill? Is
It's
it woke?
super chill.
Is it woke as fuck?
It's pretty woke, to be honest. But
yeah, but as you know
as
what?
F.
Yeah.
No, it's not necessarily a woke game, but it's just I like it. There's not a lot to do. It's a pretty boring game. You would hate it. You would say like this is an astronaut simulator. But
look, being an astronaut seems like a lot of fun. I'd like to do it because all you have to do is sit in a chair.
Well,
and then when you get to space, unhook your seatbelt
right,
and float around and measure plants. That seems like a great life because I'm sure these guys get paid way more than they deserve.
Okay. I don't think astronauts even get paid all that much.
Oh, do you think an astronaut makes $500,000?
No, absolutely not.
What? That's insane. They go to space.
Yeah.
They're our greatest heroes.
But I think that, that's the carrot that they dangle over him. They're like, well, we have an intern that's willing to go to space for free. So, it's
but maybe that intern's
race
not
to the
that
bottom.
good at measuring a plant and be like, ooh, an eighth of a centimeter in the last 48 hours. Interesting.
An eighth of a centimeter in 48 hours would be pretty interesting. That's pretty
Not
quick.
if it's bamboo.
Nah, if it's bamboo. I don't know if they've tried growing bamboo in space. I think they are worried, maybe.
Great, that's my idea. Great, make me an
Grow
astronaut.
bamboo in space. And then guess what? You can use that bamboo to make new spaceships, idiots.
Exactly, then I'll fly away.
Your bamboo spaceship. I'll fly back to Earth where it's more interesting.
Yeah. Go anywhere on Earth.
Do you want to solve a problem?
Yeah, I'll solve a problem.
Oh.
Well, we should do it together.
Do what?
Solve a problem. Hey there, ho there. It's Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems.
Yes.
We're in, I'm Tim.
And me, I'm Tom.
We solve a problem.
From a listener who has emailed us at thecompleteguideeverything@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah. Email us there if you have a thing. This one comes from Rebecca, Tom.
Rebecca Howell?
I wish. Maybe. Hey, guys. My name is Rebecca. I will happily answer to Rebecca, Becca, Beck, or even B.
Not Becky, though?
But Becky, I will not.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I run into the person, usually who I have just met, that will call me Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I know the simple solution is to inform them that I don't like that nickname, but I feel really awkward in doing so. What's easier? What's an easier, smoother way to let them know? Please and thank you. You guys are great. Rebecca, not Becky. Angry fist in the air, but she put like asterisks around that, so like she's waving her angry fist in the air.
Okay.
So Rebecca doesn't like being called Becky, but she's too much of a coward to say, please don't call me Becky.
Do you have any nicknames related to your name that you don't care for? Let's go through them.
Okay.
Tim, Timothy, Timmy, Timbo, T-Bone.
I'm not a big fan of Timmy.
Timmy. Oh, little Timmy.
Yeah.
What
it's
about
fine.
Crooked Tim or Low Energy Tim?
You know what?
A lot of people are saying, Tim,
I know. And
that you're
here's
low
the
energy.
Thing, Tom, I get Crooked Tim and Low Energy Tim all the time.
And little Timmy.
Little Timmy. I want to be able to dispute any of them, but like if the shoe fits,
yeah,
right? What grounds do I have?
Yeah. You don't like Timmy, but your mom calls you Timmy.
Yeah, sometimes.
Every time I pick you up to record the show, your mom says, "Oh, be careful with my Timmy."
Yeah, I mean,
don't
that
say
context,
any cuss words in front of them.
Yeah, in that context,
yeah,
because it's like, care for him.
care for baby Timmy.
Right. What do you? People call you Tommy, right? Your family calls you.
My
Tommy?
family calls me Tommy.
Do you like that?
It like almost never really occurred to me until
for some reason
recently.
Tommy sounds more masculine than Timmy. Right?
What if you say it like that though? Timmy.
Here's
hey,
the thing.
Timmy.
Another thing.
Mm-hmm.
That goddamn South Park show.
Oh yeah,
where they made that
Timmy.
horrible, hateful, like
the disabled kid in the wheelchairs.
Yeah,
Timmy.
and they're like, hey, let's make fun of disabled people, and also give every idiot license to
say Timmy.
Yeah. It's fine. It's great. Whatever. If you like South Park, you're simple-minded and a goddamn fool.
Well, Tim, it sounds like it's not fine and great if that's
not why I don't like South Park.
Uh-huh.
They're just so, you know what? I just want to know what their take is going to be on everything. When they're off the air, I'm just like, I can't wait. Oh, you mean to tell me Kanye West is in the news? I wonder what the South Park take's going to be on it. Oh. And then it's inevitably... Kanye's stupid.
Yeah.
I wonder what their take on this presidential election is going to be, Tom. Do you think it's going to be Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both stupid?
It might be. I could see it being that.
Groundbreaking.
Timmy.
Groundbreaking satire, Matt and Trey. Great job, Matt and Trey. Timmy.
It sounds like you have you actually don't think it's great that they create this character named Timmy.
Anyway,
yeah. But me and you have very similar because I've got Tommy, Thomas,
Tombo.
Tombo's
not
T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Yeah.
They also go by T-Bone.
Yeah. Well, we often go by T-Bone and T-Bone.
Yeah.
If we had a detective agency, that was what it would be called, or a law firm. The law firm of T-Bone and T-Bone. Here's what Becky's problem is.
Oh, Tom.
What?
She doesn't like being called Becky.
Oh, no, I thought it was that she loves being called Becky.
You didn't even listen to any of her email, did you?
That what's the most common shortening nickname of Rebecca? Becky, right?
Right.
If you don't want to be called Becky, then all nicknames have to be off.
What are you, nuts?
You can't. You got to be like, my name's Rebecca. You can't be like, oh, I can go by Becca or Beck or B. No, you got to say, my name's Rebecca. Please refer to me as Rebecca.
I think this is also complicated.
It's too much to ask of other people to be like, oh, every nickname's fine except for the most common nickname.
But, hey, man. Look, she's easygoing. She just doesn't like this. Do you think this has anything to do?
You said she's a coward.
Do you think this has anything to do with Beyonce?
Becky with good hair?
Yeah.
That she's afraid of being associated with her?
Dumbest goddamn meme that whatever.
I don't think it's really a thing anymore.
I know. Well, it was the biggest thing for 6 weeks.
But I was out of the country and I didn't even get to see the Beyonce.
Lemonade?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it's good so everyone in the world doesn't get mad at me. It was really good. Oh, it was great. No, it was great because I told somebody that I hadn't watched it.
Yeah.
And then they yelled at me for 2.5 hours.
Well, you should have been like me. I was out of the country. And I actually want to watch it, but then I was like, oh, I'll watch it when I got home. And they're like, oh, it was only available. I was like, what do you mean it was only available?
Why don't
what
you
is
pay
this?
the $20, Tom?
What is this, Snapchat?
It was Snapchat.
Oh, you can buy it, though?
Yeah, it's on iTunes.
Oh. The album or the special?
The special was just all the videos from the record, yeah.
Well, why am I going to buy it on iTunes, Tim, when I've got a perfectly good My Mom's HBO account?
I also have a perfectly good Your Mom's HBO account.
Exactly.
But it's not on HBO anymore.
I know, but I was out of the country and it wouldn't work anyway.
Well, write a letter to Beyonce and the head of HBO.
I have.
Well, what did they say?
I've CC'd them.
Well, you CC'd them. Who is the
Oh,
main
the first one?
Yeah.
Beyonce, Tim. CC.
She's the queen, baby.
Yeah.
You can't speak ill of the queen.
CC, Mr. HBO.
Yeah, that's his name.
The HBO hobo.
I don't know. Just tell people I don't like being called Becky.
I'm telling you, you gotta be like, it's Rebecca.
No, just go by Becca. Becca's a cool name. It sounds cool in 90s, right? Like it sounds like
it's really in right now.
Was that one of Stephanie Tanner's friends on Full House? Like, oh, this
Maybe.
is Becca, and she was a cool girl, but like a little bit of a bad girl.
Maybe. Sounds like it could have been.
Yeah, so just introduce yourself as Becca. Go by Becca, and nobody will call you Becky. Because if they go Becky, you go,
It's
Becca.
Becca?
And then be like, you're not cool enough to hang out with me and my crew. And then Motown Philly back at plays, and then you do your dance routine.
Yeah, well, this sounds like a lot of work now.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It stinks that there's a name that you don't like to be called.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked. You know what the thing is? You got to judge the people. If it's a jerk,
You gotta judge everyone.
like when people came up to me and were like, Timmy,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a certain kind of person where I'd be like, can we not?
Yeah.
And they like, and that like shames them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's a certain type of person that like, if I protested too much,
Mm-hmm. Then thou doth protest too much.
yeah, they're gonna ramp that up.
Yeah.
And you know what you got to do? Cut those people out of your life. If you're like, if somebody calls you Becky and you're like, oh, it's Rebecca, please don't call me Becky. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, or they don't respond to that,
Mm-hmm.
get rid of that person.
Yeah.
Throw them in the ocean.
That's what I was gonna say. Throw him down a hole or something.
Do you think she lives on a ship? If she lives on a ship, this would be very easy.
She probably mentioned if she does or not. Either way, we should know from now on.
She mentioned she did. Hello, Tim and Tom. I do not live on a ship.
Okay, good. Good to know. I wish
Okay.
you hadn't glossed over that when you read
Yeah.
it, Tim.
Well, I didn't realize that I was going to be
That was
advising
gonna
people
be
to throw
relevant.
people in the water.
Does anybody regularly call you Timothy?
No.
Your mom calls you Timothy sometimes when I drop you off after I've brought you. Like,
says I'm
oh,
home
my
late,"
Timothy.
and she goes, Timothy.
Yeah. It's really upset. I've been up all night worried about my Timothy.
I think we solved this problem.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com. You can find out more about the show at tcgt.com. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/completeguide. Follow us on Twitter @completeguide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @TomReynolds.
You can follow me on those social media platforms @YourPalTim.
If you'd like to support the show, the easy way is tcgt.com/Amazon, where you can do your normal Amazon shopping, but it helps us out, i.e., they give us some of that money, some of your cold, hard cash.
Bezos is like, here, I'll throw you a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
a
And
bone.
it's at
He
no
calls
cost to you.
And he calls it a Bezos bone.
Yeah. And
Or
we're glad to take it.
the fun way, tcgt.com/pledge, where you can support us on Patreon and get fun bonus prizes like every week, a new episode of our mini episodes, Amazing Facts. This week, Amazing Facts about bees.
And it turned into a dirty episode about
It was a
bees.
very dirty
was
episode. Well, that
raunchy.
was you.
Yeah.
And if you are in Scotland or England or you like to travel, tcgt.com/tour. We've got shows coming up in September, and you can check out the dates there.
Yeah, come see us. It's great.
Yeah.
Tickets for London are kind of like going fast.
Yeah.
I mean, not fast. They've been on sale for a while, but like,
But it
They're
looks
getting-
like they'll eventually sell out,
yeah. So
just like you.
But hey, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I afford these elaborate rings. Come to King's Place. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. A good time will be had.
And another thing, Reddit.
Yeah.
.com/r/tcgte. Right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
The wonderful Cat
Mhm.
curates that. Hello, Cat.
Mhm.
I'm saying hello because she listens to
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
She listens to the
She
show.
can't talk back. I mean, she can talk back. She's not a mute, but you can't hear her right now.
Mute. I don't think you're allowed to say that.
You can't say a mute anymore?
I don't think so.
What's the proper term?
Slack-jawed?
I mean, everyone's who's a mute's just faking anyway, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about mutes. I'm fascinated.
You ever read The Heart is a Lonely Hunter?
No. I thought that was a song. It sounds like a song.
You're right, it's a song.
All right, good. Tim, I wore you down. Got you to admit.
Tom, I feel like
I've read The Heart of Darkness.
Did you?
Conrad Murray.
Nope. That was the doctor that killed Michael Jackson.
What? What a crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
Joseph Conrad.
Yeah.
Who'd he kill?
I don't know.
Brando. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I feel like I almost learned something of use this week.
You did, Tim. Point your ham radio at the Dyson.
Shit, Tom. I'm going to talk to you off mic about this because I got to learn how to... I want to talk to these astronauts. There's nothing I want to do more in life right now than talk to these astronauts.
All right, we'll figure it out, Tim. We'll schedule an interview.
What if we get some guy that doesn't speak English?
Like a Russian?
Yeah, it'd be like, "Nyet."
Nyet. That'd still be fun. Tim, if all you got back from space was a man going, "Nyet," that would be maybe even the best case scenario.
We got to set this up.
All right. Well,
we should figure out how often it is and then do that, make that a weekly, or not a weekly, a however often segment on this show.
Yeah. And then
Tim
build
and
a
Tom
ham
talk
radio.
to the astronauts.
And maybe just a segment can be us building the ham radio every week with and now Tim and Tom build a ham radio. Like, oh, where the hell is this goddamn screw go? Oh, God,
I burned myself on the soldering iron.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to need... I have a soldering iron, so it's fine.
You're going to burn me with it on purpose, aren't you?
No, it's super hot. That would be the meanest thing to do. It'd be like stabbing you with a fork or something. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And until next week, we'll see you.